Now to our Verify report. The superintendent of schools says that the numbers are in, and they prove that the hotly debated private voucher program is not a cause of the state's budget woes.
12 News journalist Joe Dana looks at Superintendent Tom Horn's claim and explains why the voucher program itself costs more than it projected.
Superintendent Tom Horn is defending the universal private school voucher program, now beginning its third year in existence. Meanwhile, opponents showed up to the state ed board meeting this morning, pushing back.
We're going to turn here and say the People's Court is now in session.
Activists for public schools showing their disapproval for the state superintendent's handling of finances Monday morning.
We find Superintendent Horn guilty. Charge 3.
Turning a public board meeting into a mock legal trial. Horn seemed amused at the spectacle. The group's leader, Randy Paraz, publicly pleaded with Horn to rethink why he supports families taking public tax money for the purpose of attending private schools.
You think Brophy needs this money? You think Brophy has not been educating underprivileged youth since 1928? They don't need it.
In recent days, Horn has gone on the offensive, pointing out his department ended the last fiscal year under budget, even with the growing expenses of school vouchers.
All education, public and ESA, are $5 million below what the budget was set at.
Here's what the numbers show. The ESA voucher program cost about $718 million last year, $93 million more than originally projected. Compared to spending for charter schools, their $2 billion in costs was $87 million less than projected. The $6.9 billion spent on school districts ended up about $7 million less than projected. Given those totals and other factors, the Bipartisan Legislative Committee, the JLBC, says there's no reason to dispute the Department of Ed's final report, that it ended the year with a small surplus.
There's no mathematically impossible for ESAs to be contributing to the budget deficit.
I think that's a wild misrepresentation of what's actually going on.
State Democrat Minority Whip Nancy Gutierrez is a public school teacher and says despite coming in under budget, planning for the future still means cuts.
It is frustrating when the superintendent can say that, oh, we're saving money and that's so great, when in the FY25 budget, we cut the poverty weights, we cut $23 million to our state universities, and we cut $1 million to our schools for the deaf and blind.
The JLBC projects the private school voucher program will cost about $100 million more next year. Joe Dana, 12 News.
Joe, thanks. Still ahead.